Greetings to all my loyal subjects out there. King Bob coming at you from King Bob's Kingdom. Full flight today in the beautiful and glorious PMDG 777-200ER. We're going from Tucson over the Phoenix and looking at this glorious 777-200ER. Look at that Southwest over there and that United over there, and I guess what they truly say is bigger is better. So, or at least when it comes to planes. Let's get going, huh? Into the flight deck we go. Up top, battery comes on. Primary external power and secondary external power both come on. Align your IRS. In-flight entertainment passenger and cabin utility can both come on. Emergency exit lights are on, and your window heats all can come on. I like to click my strobes on and then start up the APU like so. Over to the EFB. Request our data from SimBrief. Done. Over to the CDU. Click on FMC. Pause in it. There's 3 pages. We want to go to page 2. We want to grab GPS. Back to page 1, previous page. Click here to insert it. Huh? Like so. Ding, ding, ding. Click on route. Click on route request. If you filed a SimBrief flight plan, it will show here, which I've done. Tucson to Phoenix. Click it. Click set payload. Verify set SimBrief payload is set. Click on set fuel. Verify SimBrief block fuel is set. Clear. Clear to clear the scratch pad. Go to select route. Gonna request it. So just sit here and wait. There we go. Bunch of junk down here. What we're looking for is the load. Click it. It says Route 1 uplink is loading. Wait for the activate to come alive. Click it. Look at the exec button. It's saying, hey, click me. Click exec. You're good to go there. I like to clear out this mess down here, so clear, clear, clear. You could do all that stuff, but I don't. It works fine for me. So, next, departure and arrival. So let's pull up our flight plan. Departing runway. Burrow 5 is the SID. Transition is hot. Thank you. That's what I am. Hot. Done. White light above execute. Click it. Back to index. Now we have to complete our information for the arrival. Into Phoenix. 26. Ping 1. So if you don't see it here and we have more pages, you click next page. There's ping 1. Click it. Hot is going to be the transition, so we'll choose that. Oh look, execute is lit up again. Click it. Done. Close that out for the time being. Next step, init ref. What the hell happened there? There we go. That's a little bit better. So I like to double click zero fuel weight. Dink dink. Click accept. And wait. Come on. Still going. Still going. Oh, I'm sorry. We're waiting for nothing. It's already inputted all of our data right here. Duh. So, one thing I like to look at is SimBrief gave us a flight level 180 for cruise. This gave us flight level 200. So let's change that. 180. Done. That's it. Now we can move on to a thrust limb. Click thrust limb. Over to the tablet. Or the EFB to performance tool. Select your runway you're departing on 12. In this case, import aircraft, the weights, and center of gravity, and import to weather. Click calculate. These are the numbers we want. So we're going to want a TO2 and a cell temp of 50. Here's a little tip. You click this hotspot right there, and it'll bring the tablet over. So, our cell, actually, let's do the takeoff rating first. It's TO2. So click TO2 and watch the cell arm will shift to TO2. Cell temp is 50. Type it up top here. Done. Click on takeoff. Flaps are 5. Center of gravity, double click. 6.25. Kind of matches up with what's here too. It's what we're going to want for trim. And then we're going to accept our V speeds. They want 24, 28, and 33. 24, see how it becomes big or bolded. 28, 33. That's it. So now you want this tablet back over. Just click on this little hotspot right here. Done. And that is the CDU setup. So now we can click legs. What I like to do is go over to the second one, click FMC in progress. Done. Now back up top. Getting ready for pushback. We can see our APU has started. So we can go ahead and turn off the primary external power. What I like to do at this point, since we're getting ready for pushback, is turn on all our fuel pumps. And if you see fuel in the center tank, which we don't have any, you could turn these two on, but we won't because we have none. The other thing we're going to want to do is click on the beacon light, like so. And then the hydraulic section needs to come on. So I don't know where I found this, but I'm going to use the C procedure. So right elect to auto. C2 elect, turn on. C1 elect, turn on. Left elect to auto. C1 air to auto. And C2 air to auto. Done. It's up top. Down to the EFB. Ground operations. Release your ground power. Remove your chocks. Go over to the door management button. And you're going to click on close all and arm all. Like so. I like to go back to the electronic flight bag. Just keep this up. We're good to go. We can request our pushback. Today we'll be using GSX because why not? And you probably can't hear that. So while that's going, we're going to set up the rest of the plane here. So our cruising altitude is 18,000. So roll up your altitude to 18,000. Our heading, you're going to set for runway heading. And we're taking off on runway 12. So doing a little bit of whiskey math, that's roughly a heading of 120. Or you can consult your charts, but that's in the ballpark. We want our speed, and back over to the tablet to performance. We want that set for V2 speed, which is 133. So we'll roll this down to 133. There we go. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure both flight directors are on. So there's one flight director. There's the second flight director. You want to make sure your auto throttles are also armed. Arm LNAV, arm VNAV. You're kind of done. So now GSX is saying, hey, which way do you want to point the nose? So we're going to say a left. It's telling me to release the parking brakes. So to start this plane, up top, we're going to start the right engine first. You're going to move this over to start. You're going to feed it fuel. And you'll watch it fire up here. Or you can actually look at the external view if you'd like, or a view you've set up for that particular engine. And then what you're going to be looking for is once it's finished starting up, this will flip back to norm from start. And we could start the left engine. Pushback looks like it's completed. They want me to set my parking brakes. Engine is coming alive. Any second now, this is going to flip back to norm like it just did. Now we can start the left engine, or engine 1. So we can click over to start. Feed it fuel. In the meantime, we should set our trim. 6.25. You can use this fancy contraption here. I have buttons mapped on my Moza Yoke, so we'll set it for 6.25. You can see it's moving down to nose up here. There's 6 and 6.25. Done. Waiting for that engine to finish starting up. It'll flip back to the norm position. Like it just did. Engines are started. So at this point, you turn off your APU. We're getting ready to taxi, so I like to turn on my taxi lights. Runway turn-off lights. And your landing lights. You can wait to turn on your landing lights to the runway, but I like to get them going now. Like so. One thing I missed was the seatbelt sign. Make sure that's on. And you're just going to verify. Make sure everything looks good up here. Nothing says press. These packs will eventually come on here as the plane does its thing. That looks perfectly fine to me. So back down. Auto brake to RTO. To the pedestal. Over to expander for the time being. Until we get to the runway, then we'll set it over to TA only or TARA. All right, here the packs have already come on. So we're good to go. So this looks ready to rock and roll. RTO is on. The other thing we want to do is we want to set our flaps. So they wanted us to set the flaps 5. So set your flaps to 5. And you can verify the progress right here. When it's magenta, it's in motion. You can see it slowly, the progress bar coming down. Green means flaps are set. Beautiful. Done. Now we can go ahead and taxi. Parking brake can come off. I have a button on my Honeycomb BRAVO to do that. If you want to, you could pull up some charts so you could actually see where the heck you're going. So we're taking off on runway 12. So we're here. And we'll do a little of this action. Okay. A little bit of juice. Steer the plane however you need to steer the plane. I'll use a tiller. Blackbird Controls, I think it's called. We'll sneak out over here. Beautiful. Try to maintain that center line. You want to, you could throw it over to TARA or TA only, depending. Your choice. Look at how gorgeous that looks. Guess that dude's waiting for me, huh? A little fast on the taxi there. We'll slow it down. We'll turn out to runway 12 or 12. I like to hold short here, make sure everything looks good up top. Landing lights are on, all our lights are on. Everything looks good up top. TCAS is set to TARA. Auto brake is set to rejected takeoff. We're good to go. Turn on the clock right now if you'd like. The chrono, the clock. A little bit of a crosswind, but not horrible today in Tucson, Arizona. Line up. Cheat mode here. Belly view. That looks good. I don't pay attention to the checklist. You can if you want, but that's for another video, so we could just clear that out. And if you want to get rid of that message, you can click on, where is it? Recall over here. Okay, we're ready to rock and roll. So what I like to do is I like to spool up my engines to that position. And then click on Toga. And you will see, it will say, oh, let's see what it says. Thrust reference here as the engines start to spool up. Maintain center line all the time.
80 knots.
Here's 80 knots.
V1. Rotate.
And gently back.
Positive rate.
Follow the flight directors. Gear can come up. At this point, go ahead and engage autopilot. And we're going to wait for flap retraction speeds once it gets above 5. As we start to accelerate here. You can move it up to flaps 1, or and once it's above the 1 here, we can move our flaps up to the off position. I guess retract our flaps totally. I like to keep up with what heading we're on, so we're on a 126, so just make sure you keep up with that.
Traffic.
I'm going to move it down to TA only so we don't get those annoying alerts. Make sure your auto brakes are off, and we will climb out. Into that initial turn here. Keep up with your heading. watch your elevation here. As once we get above 10,000, we want to go through our 10,000 feet of flows. Coming up through 9,000 feet. 4 minutes into the flight. Coming up on 10,000, so up top, all the lights can come off. Landing lights, runway turnoff lights, taxi lights. And if you want, release the cattle in the back. This is where our top of climb will be, T/C. So we should be up to 18,000 roughly around that point. Now, as we're climbing out here, I like to do a few things. I like to go down to my CDU, click on Fix, type in the arriving airport, which is Phoenix. And I like to create some range rings so I know when to do certain things. So I like a 6-mile range ring. I like a 10-mile range ring. And I like a 15-mile range ring. Thought being, 15 miles, we want to be at flaps 1/5 and speeds appropriate to that, and we will go over that once we get closer. 10 just a, hey, we're getting closer, and 6, we should be configured for landing. Flaps down to 30. Glide slope captured. Landing gear down. Go back to legs. Keep up with your heading. I only do that because, well, you should do it to keep up with it just in case you're using ATC, whether it's beyond ATC or say intentions or some other ATC. If they told you to fly a particular heading, that you're within the ballpark of where the plane was flying now. So we're coming up on flight 16,000 here. I forgot to hit the magic barrel reference key. Make sure you adjust that either by this or hitting whatever key on your keyboard sets that. This flight's going to be at flight level 180, so that's going to be right at standard. So you can click on standard right here, and you're going to watch it go into standard, like so. Usually at flight level 180 in the United States. So now we're at cruise. Back to the CDU, back to init ref. Going to choose your landing flaps and speed. Typically 30. So you click it, puts it in a scratch pad, and by flap speed you click it again, 3124. So you're good to go, and you'll notice that your VREF speed is indicated. Keep up with your heading. 008. Watch for your top of descent marker, which is right there, T/D. You could also find it. Top of descent, 40 nautical miles on the progress button right here. Flip it back to legs. So, Phoenix, approach. 26. Let's see what altitude they want us to. There it is. 3,000 feet. But since we're at cruise, we can go ahead and roll this in. So when we hit top of descent, the plane will start to descend. Okay, I'm back. Just had to take a quick bio break, as they say. Yeah, I had to take a piss. We're about 20 nautical miles outside of top of descent, but we're all set up. Our altitude to catch a glide slope is set. Nothing else you really need to do. Sit back and enjoy. Look at that. How beauteous is that? It's quite beautiful, if I do say so myself. Traffic today, by the way, is brought to you by Beyond ATC. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a freebie from Beyond ATC. Doubt it, but... Oh, look at it. Come on. Deserve a screenshot. This is a little bit of a bug that PMDG kind of knows about, and they're working on a fix for it, but no worries, it'll still do what it needs to do. And to be brutally honest with you, this plane is still better than anything Phoenix could ever make. Just saying. Airbus, as Sean Connery say, suck it, Trebek. Should turn back. While we're doing that, if we want to see what our flight plan is like before we get to TOD here, which is about 10 miles out, you can roll it over. It's on map right now. You roll over to plan. And then you could step through it over on right there. Step, 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 step. We'll make that work. I don't really like this, but we'll make it work. I hope. Actually, let's throw in a waypoint here. Maybe ZMOS. So to the CDU. We want to put that Jaggle before Jaggle. Actually, we want to put it... Let me think about this. We're starting to descend now. So this is warning us, hey, you need to flip back. So click that. Hit your magic barrow ref key. Or get your barrow, however you want to do it, and set it by this. Let's take a look at something here. Yeah, standard ping 1 wants us to go to perk, then FinApp, then Jaggle. We're gonna take we're gonna switch this up. Go to approach 26. Let's throw in ZMOS. It's going to be after perk, so ZEMOS perk. There's perk, and we're going to go to ZMOS and then cut back. I'm going to execute that. Take out FinApp right here. So let's clear this out. Let's click on Jaggle, over top FinApp, and execute that. Let's see what that looks like now as we start to descend. And again, you should be keeping up with your heading here. Over to plan. Let's step through it. Okay, that's better. ZBoss and then over to Jaggle. So we can go ahead and close this discontinuity. Click on Jaggle. It'll highlight it to the boxes here. Execute. There we go. That's better. And we're descending through 1-2000. So, as we're descending, let's get our auto brakes on. I like auto brake 3. Unless you're on a short runway, then you can go 4 or max, but 3 seems perfectly legit. As we descend down to Goblin Town. If you know that reference, good for you. Ooh, FMC message. Drag required. Give it some spoilers or speed brakes. Keep an eye on your altitude. We will be rolling through our below 10,000 feet lows. Let the plane do its thing. We're going to retract our speed brakes. We got it back under control here. VNAV descent profile looks okay. We're a slight bit high, but that shouldn't be too bad. Speeding up slightly as we're descending. We're below 10,000. So up top, landing lights can come on, runway turn-off lights can come on, taxi lights can come on, seatbelt signs on. That's all you have to do. Auto brake is set. Nothing else we really need to do but monitor. So here's what I like to do. So I create these range rings for a reason. At the 15 mile, we're going to go flaps 1, then flaps 5, and then we're going to manually control our speed to match 1 and 5. And you'll see what I'm talking about once we get there. So we're at 328. We should be keeping up with our, which we are, 328. The other important range ring, it's a 6-mile ring here. We're going to want to make sure we're configured for landing. Landing gear down. Spoilers armed. Flaps out to 30. And how do I know flaps 30? Well, go back to your CDU again. Take a look. Not that. CDU. Make sure you've chosen. You have them already selected. Flaps 30. That's our V speed 124. So basically what you're going to do is your final landing speed is going to be 124, or your V ref speed plus 5. So it'll be 129 in this situation if I'm doing math correctly. Which I'm probably not. 346, so make sure you mirror that over here. Not essential, but it helps if you're using ATC, and ATC wants to send you someplace. Hey, look at that. The cabin's ready. Hooray! Phoenix is someplace over here. So we're getting closer to our 15-mile range ring here, so we got to start thinking about speed. It's going to... The VNAV in this plane works wonderfully. It's going to manage it for you. You can see it's dropped our speed down to 218, roughly at 220. Take that, Phoenix. Again, make some checks. Make sure your auto brake is on. Make sure all your lights are set. Whatever you want. Landing lights should be on. Runway turn off and taxi lights on. That's all you really have to be concerned about up here. All right, we're getting ready to make that turn, so I like to usually wait to make the turn to arm our approach mode. Like so. Gonna try to capture the glide slope. I'm sorry, the localizer and the glide slope. We're getting close to that 15 miles, so let's go down to flaps 1 and watch for the one here, and go ahead and lower your speed to that 1 speed. Down to flaps 5. Lower your speed down to flaps 5 speed. It's already captured the localizer and the glide slope, so we're in good shape here. Last minute checks up top, everything looks good. Lights are on. Seat belts are on. No weird lights up top. Auto brake is set for 3. That's our wind today. We got a nice headwind. 16 knots out of 251, 17 knots. What I like to do is lower my landing gear right around the 6 mile mark, maybe a little bit before. It's up to you. Whatever you feel comfortable with. We're about 27 minutes into this flight. Just in case you... uh-oh, traffic. What in the holy hell is that? Get out's the way. This be coming true. Now landing with this plane, you leave auto throttle on. You don't have to disconnect it. Just disconnect your autopilot whenever you feel comfortable. For me, that's about 1,000 feet above.
2,500.
There's a 2,500 call out mark. Flare it roughly about, I don't know. I think I do it about 30 feet. Hold it, let it settle down. And for shits and giggles, let's pull up the... I use Touchdown FX to track my landings. It's going to show the magical mystery landing rate, which is, in my opinion... Well, I'm not even going to go there. But hey, we all like low numbers, right? We're within that 6. Landing gear can come down. I like to roll flaps to 20 and then roll my speed down to 20. At Once my landing gear down like that, down to flaps 30. And then roll my speed to VREF plus 5, which is 129. And we are all set up for landing, short of arm the speed brakes. There's the 1000 call out. My plane. And let's pray for the best. Getting a little bit low. Not much of a headwind now, only about 7 knots. Try to maintain that center line. Now we got a little bit of a crosswind, but not much.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Back on the center line and down. Like so. Oh, Jimmy, that's a butter. Bursters can come out. Try to maintain that center line there, King Bob. On the brakes. We'll exit here. You can retract your flaps. You can disengage your spoiler. Clear this caution. Who cares? Now, once you are clear of the runway, which we should be, which we are, you can go ahead and turn off your landing lights. If you want to, you can get your APU pre-spooled up and go find a parking spot. Maintain that center line all the time. Auto brake can come off. At this point, you can turn off your flight directors. You can disengage your auto throttles too. I'm not going to race that Southwest next to me. Again, most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Look at that. The gorgeous. Take that spot right over there. So let's pull up GSX while we're at it. Select from map. There she is. Don't worry about the checklist incomplete. I really haven't gone over that. You don't really need to be able to fly this plane, but it helps. This is a spot. I chose it already. Oh, forgot to do that. We'll just choose southwest for this. There we go. I never activated it. No worries. Cheat mode, the belly view. Ooh, it's gonna be rough to get it over. But hey, I'm a professional. Look at that. Tiller for the win. That's close enough. Parking brakes can come on. Taxi lights turn off and taxi lights can come off. Let's see if our APU is running, which it is. So we can go ahead and turn our fuel controls off. Turn our beacon off. Go ahead and, oh, not that. Go ahead and request a little GSX action. How about request a boarding? And that is going to do it. A full flight in the 777. Hopefully you get some knowledge, use out of this. I always do, because I always learn something new. But, well, not really. I know everything. But, hey, that's just me. But this is King Bob from King Bob's Kingdom. Saying, see ya.